What's going on, good folks? Hopefully, you guys can hear me. We're going to be starting here in a little bit. You guys can all hear me out there, right? Just making sure that y'all all can. Let me know. Appreciate you guys all being here. Let me see. I want to see if who's here so I can see the. There we go. What's going on, Miss Kim? Miss Kim in the house. Unconventional. Hey, sis. Appreciate you being here. JQ. Appreciate that. Amanda, how we doing? Oklahoma chicken. What is that? Oklahoma chicken cam. Loud and clear. Appreciate that, Mo. Appreciate that. AS in the house. Anthony, I can hear you from. And hello, the state of New Jersey. Joyce in the house. Dee Dee Bach in the house. What's going on, Dee Dee? Sally Brown, South Georgia. What's up from Misery? Arizona's in the house. Joyce Decker. Jareem. I think I said that right. Jungle J. What's going on, Jungle J? Dallin, how are you doing? Hope you guys are all out there doing good. So you guys do know that although you see that this is live right now, I just want to let you guys know we are at the radio station, getting ready to get into this. And if you do plan on possibly coming on here like a little later, if we do a little bit of a panel, make sure there's to be no cursing whatsoever because we get fined up here. Yep. Get fined up here and Kevin can lose his job. Only you can prevent forest fires. No. Only you can prevent. Got unsolicited security boss in the house. Hey, sis, how are you doing? Those of you that do not know, she has a wonderful YouTube channel, Unsolicited Security Boss, and I would highly recommend you guys go over there and subscribe to her channel. Very good topics. Guarantee you will be not only entertained, but you will be educated too. No, you will be educated, and it's good talks over there. So all you guys over there that are listening to me right now, I recommend you guys go subscribe to her. I have it posted right here on the screen. You can type it in the search bar of YouTube. What's her YouTube? Unsolicited Security Boss. I'll get the link for it and I can send it in the chat. Sweet. Got Paco in the house. It's not okay. I made it so only place where you'll hear on YouTube. Frank Gray, Roselle, Dee Dee Bach. I already got you, Dee Dee, didn't I? Already got you. I gotta let some family know that I'm gonna be going live here. Whoa. What time? Oh, it's doing Fox News right now, so that's why it's going over. So 3 minutes. Okay. Probably got about 2 minutes left until 2 to 3 minutes there. Hello from New York. As you guys can see right here, here's the link to go to Security Boss, Unsolicited Security Boss channel to subscribe. And then let me know. I have the invite link and everything ready too for joining the stream. Mark, how are you doing, sir? Binary B. Sue, hey, sis. How goes it? The assassin of the gory is in the house. We got Crystal. Lacey, hey, one of my OGs is in the house. Appreciate you coming over, Lacey. She put the hashtag at MRM. I like that instead of the @ sign. Nice way of getting out there. What's going on, Paul? All the way from my home state, Florida. Mo, I kind of seen a little bit of that. I might touch on that. Alchemy, don't let me keep you from doing your yard work. Appreciate that. Mark says I've been listening to Kevin. He's great.
Thanks, Mark.
Hey, y'all, from Tennessee. Nice. I will be visiting Tennessee sometime in the near future. You need a break, huh? Yeah. Andrea said, I have been listening to Kevin too. Absolutely worth the time. Awesome. Appreciate y'all doing that.
You guys are great. Really appreciate it. You're going to be live here in 15 seconds.
And here we go. How are you doing out there on this beautiful day, Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299. Again, that number is 309-451-9299. And if you would like to tune in and see me live in the studio where I can interact with you and you can interact with me, go over to YouTube and type in Modern Renaissance Man in the search. And when you do, you will see a thumbnail. And when you click that thumbnail or that still shot picture, you will see me live in the studio looking at you looking at me, and we're going to be having a good looking time. Appreciate you guys all being here and listening out there in the Below No area, and also you that are tuning in through the internet. There's about a good 80 of you in there. We really appreciate you. Make sure that you subscribe also to Kevin Ferris up here, and also to Cities 92.9 YouTube, as well as on Facebook, where we are putting out news and information, giving it to you with common sense, folks. So appreciate you all for doing that. All right, folks. Again, y'all know how I always start my show off. I really do hope that everybody that's listening to me right now, hope that everybody is doing well. Hopefully everything is going you guys' way. If you are here in the central Illinois area, there is some really beautiful weather out there. So hopefully you are listening to me while you might be at a park, sitting down in front of a water, watching the ducks or the geese and eating a sandwich while listening to this news that we're about to put out here. So enjoy the day. Absolutely. If anything, I think these past years should automatically make you guys definitely want to be out there doing outside activities, getting away from being inside of your house. Okay. All right. So, folks, we have a lot of things to talk about, and I'm going to dive right on into this particular story. And you guys probably heard it out there. I'm pretty sure Kev covered it. Pretty sure Cat covered it. And you guys, there was this incident that happened in New York on a subway train where a person, a criminal who was known to commit crimes, he lost his life because he was threatening passengers on the subway train. And a hero stepped up who was a Marine, and he subdued the man, put him in a submission hold, and ultimately that man lost his life. So this hero that I'm talking about is Daniel Penny, right? Daniel Penny, if you guys want to, don't believe me, don't take my word for it. Daniel Penny saved people from possible harm and danger on a subway train. Witnesses to Jordan Neely, chokehold, that's the guy that lost his life. Jordan Neely is the man that lost his life. And the witnesses to Jordan Neely being put in a submission hold, a chokehold, they say themselves that Daniel Penny is a hero. New York passenger says the Marine vet cared for people, and that is his crime. In which, if guys, I covered this story on my YouTube channel some weeks ago. I had no idea, nor did I care what color the criminal was, and nor did I care what color the Marine was. What I cared about is the fact that this man stepped up and did exactly what we used to have pride over, and that's taking care of one another. That's looking out for one another. That's looking out for your neighbor. That's trying to help and keep another one from being in danger and harm. That's what this man stepped up and did. Now, if you guys don't notice, the issue that came out is that people got really, really upset because once they saw the color of the Marine and they saw the color of the criminal that lost his life, all hell broke loose. A retiree who witnessed the Marine veteran Daniel Penny fatally choke an erratic homeless man on the train earlier this month called him a hero, and he slammed the Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg for prosecuting him. This person said he's a hero, the passenger said, and this passenger has lived in New York for more than 50 years. The witness described herself as a woman of color, said it was wrong for Bragg to charge Penny with second-degree manslaughter. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this Marine, this Marine who we all seem to in America that this is what we were supposed to be about. Our Marine, our veterans. This is what gave us a sense of pride, especially when number 45 was in the office. We had a huge sense of pride that nobody can mess with us because our military. We had so much pride in being the most powerful country on the planet Earth, the greatest country on the planet Earth, because of how we protect ourselves. And every time you hear these things like this, you see a veteran out and about, they got their hat on. You see them with their outfits on, their uniforms, and you will say to them, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Thank you for protecting our country. I don't know if you guys know this. I have family members that are in the military. When they do what they do, they pretty much swear an oath to protect us domestically and foreign. And this Marine in this story did exactly that. The witnesses says, and this is a woman of color, said it was self-defense. She said, and I believe in my heart, he saved a lot of people that day could have got hurt, is what she told Fox Digital. So a woman of color, we don't know what she is yet, but let's just assume that she's black. I guarantee you, or your money back, that a certain demographic of people will call this woman, I don't even know if they can call her Uncle Tom. Maybe they call her Auntie Tom, Auntie T or something. They're going to call her something. There you go. There you go. They're going to call her Auntie Tamia. That's Uncle Tom's wife. That's what they're going to call her because this woman sat there and stood up and called out wrong. And because of that, this is where a crazy, so deeply enrooted cancer plagues the community of what we want to say black people. We have gotten to a point where things that are done wrong to a black person by a black person, nothing is said. Nothing is exploding in a sense of getting the news out there when it is black on black. But when it is a white on black, we completely make propaganda of it. We want to get it out there and sensationalize it because that is the playbook that's been used by the ones that keep a lot of black people on the mental plantation. And that is the left. That is the Democratic side. Plain and simple. That's been their playbook and always been their playbook. And it's going to continue to be their playbook. I'm just anticipating what's going to happen in the near future once the elections and everything start. I guarantee y'all everything is going to, watch how the race stuff it's just going to explode. It's going to be racist stuff everywhere. But the point of me saying all that is this. What is wrong with pointing out wrong? What is wrong with pointing out wrong? What is wrong with calling it exactly what it is? Because now we end up pointing our lives, folks, not me, but you guys. When I say you guys, I'm talking about you that have fallen for this rhetoric, this nonsense, where you can't even say what's deeply in your heart because you're scared of what type of retaliation you may get. I don't want to say anything because I don't want anybody. I don't want to say anything because people might call me. I don't want to say anything because, if I do, people are. That is exactly what this current media system wants you to be. The Constitution that states all kinds of different things if you go and read it. They know that, no, we're not going to be able to pretty much, go in there and take that from you, burn, eradicate, and get rid of it, even though that's what they're trying to do. But what if we can scare the American people? What if we can scare the American people into not exercising those rights? What if we could scare the American people into not having this freedom of speech? What if we can trick them and make them think that they can't have speech because now we're going to dictate what speech is? What if we can scare the American people into not wanting to say that a man is a man and a woman is a woman? What if we could scare the American people into not saying that a crime that was committed by a black person was wrong because in their mind, they know it's wrong, but at the same time, we're going to scare you into saying, don't you dare say nothing about a black person doing nothing wrong because you're going to end up facing some type of repercussions. What if we could scare them into not recording bad things that go on, be it a police officer, be it a white person, be it a black person, because you're afraid of some type of retaliation that you're going to get? What if we can do that? So yeah, you might sit there all day long and say our Constitution, but ask yourself if you have been scared into not being able to exercise the rights of what all comes with the Constitution. Folks, we're about to take a break here. You're listening to Cities 92.9, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal. All right, folks, I appreciate y'all being all in here with me right now, rocking it out. To those that are in here, double check to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Also, don't forget to hit that like button for this stream so this video can be circulated within the YouTube algorithm. Really, really appreciate if you guys did that, okay? Later. Show.
Hi, this is Kevin with Cities 92.9, producing for Ty Smith. How can I help you? Is this George? Okay, well, I know that Ty does want to take some calls later, but right now he's kind of on a roll with what he's got going. So maybe try calling back either near the end of the hour or in the second hour. Is it okay? Yeah, he's on a roll. All right, talk to you later, George. Yep. We just want to make sure we don't even want to approach the line, George. I know it's not just to you, it's to everybody. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't listened to that one. I should listen to that one at some point. Yeah. You're good at it, George. You're good at it. All right. Well, I got to get back to working with Ty here, so. Talk to you later, George. Bye. Okay, you're back.
What is going on, Bloomington Normal? I'm Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299, and you can text the show at that same number. If you would like to see me live in the studio where I can interact with you, you interact with me, you can leave comments, and you can possibly cam up so your voice can be heard. Go over to YouTube, type in Modern Renaissance Man in the search. When you do that, you will see a thumbnail of me being live in the studio. Click on that thumbnail, okay? And when you do that, you will see how very animated of a person that I am. You think that I'm animated based off my voice. You should see me in the studio as I sit here, stone, cold, no emotion, no facial expressions, anything, just flaccid face. No, appreciate you guys all coming back and listening. So before we took the break, I was talking about this story with this hero, Marine, who prevented a career criminal from doing what the DA and what the so-called justice system continue to allow a lot of these people to do. And who am I talking about these people? I'm talking about the criminals. So they claim it now, and I'm just gonna say this, folks. Look, they saying that the career criminal suffered from mental illness. And I want you guys to pay close attention to that because that's something that people are really good at doing right now. All of a sudden, I mean, my God, it's like we went from one demic to another demic. And, I'm not going to say this because, I know to you that's listening on the radio, when I say demic, it's because if I say it on YouTube, all of a sudden, it's going to catch their AI's attention and they might try to flag the channel because I'm using that P word that ends with demic. But we went from one demic to another demic. And all of a sudden, everybody got some shape, form, or fashion on a spectrum of mental illness. So this is what really gets me questioning a lot of this. This career oh my God. If you were like a career criminal, he has mental illness. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to keep on letting him out. That's what we're going to do. We're going to keep on letting this career criminal who has, quote, mental illness, we're going to let him out so he can keep on going and terrorizing people. If the justice system did exactly what it was supposed to do, we probably would not be reading about this story right now as I speak. If the justice system did what it was supposed to do, there probably never would have been a George Floyd. If the justice system would have did what it was supposed to do, there probably wouldn't have been a story of Tommy Timber. So Jordan Neely, the guy who lost his life, he suffered from mental illness is what they said. He stormed into a northbound train at about 2:30 May 1st, screaming and threatening passengers, is what this lady said. This lady on this train said, we were scared. We were scared for our lives. And the last time I checked, if you are scared for your life, you have a right to defend yourself. And you know what's really funny, folks? To you that are out there listening across the airways, you know what's really amazing? We have right now plenty of videos. We have plenty of videos of people on sub trains being assaulted, being smacked. A woman being assaulted by a man, grabbing her hair, pulling her hair, while other passengers just kind of like, well, I ain't about to get him on. And I covered this video. I was so mad. I was like, there are men. Yes, I said it. There are men on these sub trains watching a woman get assaulted and they're not even trying to jump in and help. And this woman is actually saying, she's like, help, help. And they just kind of look, well, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Have you been scared into not doing exactly what this hero did? They're making it to where people can be assaulted and we don't even want to help our fellow brothers and sisters to keep them from harm? Well, Ty, the DA, I don't know if you try to defend stuff, they're gonna let them. Let them. I guarantee you're gonna have the support of most Americans they're gonna support you. If they seen a story like this, I cannot think of hardly any real civilized people with a logical brain that will look at this situation and say, man, he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that. That man did exactly what he was trained to do. Protect Americans from domestic or foreign threats. And that's what he did. Well, no, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't care what you guys try to pull off on this. That career criminal knew exactly what he was doing. And you got passengers on the train saying that they were scared for their lives. And what better person to step up and help than an all-American red blood bleeding patriot from the military? What better person? This lady said, I'm sitting here on the train reading my book. And all of a sudden, I hear someone spewing this rhetoric. He said, I don't care if I have to. Now, I can't say this on YouTube, cities, 92.9 to the ones that's listening by the radio. The K word. He said, I don't care if I have to delete. I will. He said, I will go to jail. I'll take the bullet. Recall the woman who was on the train in her 60s. She said, this man pretty much said, I will delete you guys on this train and I don't give a F. I don't give a F if I'll take the bullet. Said, I'm looking at where we are in the tube and in this sardine can. And she said, I'm thinking to myself, okay, we're in between stations. There's nowhere we can go, she said. The people on the train, we were scared. We were scared for our lives. The witnesses said it was clear to her that Penny waited until the last minute to intervene for the sake of his fellow passengers. He waited till the last minute to intervene. She said she heard a thump when he dragged Neely to the ground, but couldn't see clearly until the doors opened at the Broadway Lafayette station. Most of the passengers darted off that subway, the sub train, sorry. Mr. Penny cared for people. That's what he did. That is his crime, she told Fox News. After the altercation, she and at least 3 other passengers thanked him. Witnesses says this isn't about race. This is about people of all colors who were very, very afraid and a man who stepped in to help them. Nobody wants to delete anybody. Mr. Penny did not want to do this to this man, she said. You should have seen the way Mr. Penny looked. He was distraught. He was very, very visibly distressed, and he didn't go. He didn't run. He stayed. He protected us. He did what he was trained to do. So what is wrong with that? Well, see what it is that man, I know he a Marine, but the reason why he felt that he can do that is because of the white supremacy that's been instilled. Get the heck out of here. Get the heck. This is just so amazing, man, because I'm not going to call his name out because there's some stuff that we don't discuss outside, but there was a young man that traded fists with a police officer. A young black teenager, and we had the opportunity to talk to him on Chaotic Truth channel, Chaotic Truth Live. Shout out to Chaotic Truth. We had an opportunity to talk to this young man that went viral for fighting a police officer. A black young man fighting a police officer. The police officer was fighting a young man back. This young man attacking the police officer, fighting. The police officer had every reason to tase him and possibly use lethal force, but the police officer didn't. And you know what happened? Amazing. Most people that made videos on YouTube, World Star, they all were sitting there praising the teenager. Oh, look how he was throwing those hands. Oh, that teenager got a hand. Oh, he was boxing that police officer. Hey, he was beating that police officer. Boop. Man, look what he did. That is the craziest thing to me. We praise the young black man for fighting and exchanging fists with a black police officer. We praise that. But if that black police officer would have took that boy's life, oh, see, the reason why the black police officer took his life, because that black police officer is the black face of white supremacy. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. Where have we gotten to where we would sit there and praise our young men who we say, oh, we scared to leave our house every day because we don't know if we gonna live. And you go and you fight a police officer and then you get praised. by the black community for fighting a police officer who looked just like you. But oh, it's individuals like me. We're the Uncle Toms. We're tap dancing. We the porch Negroes. We the house Negroes. We the coons. And you guys are the reason why that this behavior amongst any race, but mainly black, but any race, you guys will be the reason why that behavior is going to continue to be doing this, because you guys are enabling this when you defend it. More of the show when we come back, ladies and gentlemen. You listen to Cities 92.9 and News and Talk of Bloomington Normal. Again, guys, you guys that are in here right now, really appreciate you guys all being here. Don't forget, if you've been in here probably the last 5 minutes or so like that and you haven't hit that like button yet, be sure to hit that like button, okay? Appreciate if y'all did that. Double check to make sure that you're still subscribed, because you most likely, it's a good chance that you will be unsubscribed from my channel. Guarantee you. So what's going on right now, folks, is that we're taking a break, and it's a good chance that when we go into the second portion of this show, we're going to open it up to allow you, the listening audience, to either call in, and we're going to allow you to actually come up on the panel. Your voice will be heard in Illinois here. Make sure that when you do come and cam up, make sure that there's to be no cussing, no cursing, etc. Where are we at? Probably when I start the maybe second hour. Yeah. I'll try to read off some of you guys' comment when we come back. If it's like fresh in my mind to read off the comments, I'll definitely do that. So yeah, get some more of those lights in here. Folks like me don't get on there, and I look like be looking like a shadow. Mama Don in the house. Hey, what's going on, the Great Pill Podcast? The Great Pill Podcast also has its own channel as well, folks. Y'all should go over there and check him out. The Great Pill Podcast. Shout out to you, sir, for coming in here. Appreciate it. To you who are in here listening to me right now, the reason why we're kind of quiet right now because we're live in the radio and we're on a break right now. So I don't want to talk more about the subject, because I will end up at a point where I am depriving the listening audience by radio of what I will be talking about if I continue to talk about it right now. And we are back, Bloomington Normal. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here at Cities 92.9 is 309-451-9299, and you can text the show at that same number, 309-451-9299. If you would like to see me live in the studio where I can interact with you and you interact with me, go over to YouTube and in the search, type in Modern Renaissance Man, and you will see a thumbnail of me being live in the studio. All right. So glad you guys are all back and still listening here, especially to those that are listening via YouTube. Really appreciate you guys all being here. So before we took the break, you guys heard me getting really passionate about how crazy we have gotten to where you heard me right. Sympathy for the devil. We don't want to talk badly. It's not even bad. We don't even want to judge righteously of a crime or people that are doing the wrong thing. So I'm going to read a few comments off on YouTube to show you here that at Season 92.9, we got people plugging in that way as well. The world is changing right now. People can call in at Season 92.9, but people can also tune in via the internet. So there was a comment that was left here by Mr. X. Mr. X says, I need to see this whole video before I can. Daniel, oh, okay. He said, I need to see this whole video before I can call Daniel Penny a hero. He said a brother was deleted.
I have a video up. If you want me, I could share it to the screen of the stream right now. And I have a video. It's from ABC News, but it's the video of.
Oh, sweet.
So it should be clean because it's from ABC.
Nice.
So I'll share the screen here.
So we're going to be sharing it to you that are to you. That's the benefit of actually listening to Cities 92.9 by the internet, is that if you go on the internet on YouTube, you actually get to see the video, while the audience here that are listening to us by the radio, you get to hear the audio of it. So we're going to play that here real quick. Give us a second.
Here is that.
Like 12 days after he was seen with his arms around Jordan Neely's neck in a deadly chokehold on a New York City subway, Daniel Penny is possibly facing up to 15 years behind bars. The 24-year-old Marine Corps veteran
This grateful nation.
Prosecutors say they reviewed the disturbing video showing Penny choking Neely on a subway train on May 1st and say at the point that the defendant releases his arm from Mr. Neely's neck, Mr. Neely appears to be unconscious. Penny was initially questioned and released without charges, while police say Neely acted aggressively toward riders on the subway that day. Sources tell ABC News that Penny was not specifically threatened by Neely. Attorneys for Neely's family criticizing the decision to charge Penny with manslaughter and not murder.
The consequences of manslaughter, too, is 5 to 15 years. Ask yourself, is that enough?
Our thanks to Steph.
So basically, you could see in there. I mean, that was kind of clips of the footage, but in part of it, it did they were trying to subdue Neely, and they said somebody call the cops. One of the people that was trying to subdue multiple people, it was not just Daniel Penny who was trying to hold Neely down.
Yeah, and then if you guys go in there and you view the video, you will actually be able to clearly see that there was another individual of color who was holding his hands. So while the Marine had him in the hold, there was someone else trying to hold the man's hands and keep it from moving. So apparently the fact that these people jumped in to do what they did was showing you that the man had to be at a position of being so irate that they felt that he posed a danger to their fellow brothers and sisters on that train. But no, this is what we do. And Mr. X, I don't want to take what you said the wrong way, but what do we mean a brother was deleted? See, that's the thing, though. This is what this is, ladies and gentlemen. Amongst I just noticed this amongst what we call the black community. I can talk about my mama, but you can't talk about my mama. Y'all ever heard that notion before? It's one of those deals where I don't know if y'all ever experienced this, where you have a friend and your mom can, like, let's just say if your mom disciplined you for something and she told you that you're not going to be able to go to a specific event, or you're not going to be able to go somewhere or do a certain thing, and you get mad and you tell your friend, man, I can't stand my mom, man. I can't stand her. My mom gets on my nerves. She don't let me do anything. I can't stand my mom. And if your friend say, yeah, man, your mom, and she's a complete boop, you gonna wait a minute. Wait a minute. What do you mean, dude? Don't be saying that about mom. I was like, oh, bro, I just thought that since you were talking about your mom, you didn't care if I agreed with you. And I said this about your mom too. Like, and I said the beat word, folks, because that can be whatever you want to fill that with. And I'm not necessarily saying it's going to be a cuss word or anything like that. But what I am saying, if your friend say, yeah, man, your mom is tripping, man. Yeah, your mom, man, she's strict, man. Yeah, your mom is crazy, man. You're going to say to him, hey, bro, don't be talking about my mom like that. Then they would say to you, but you were just talking about I know, I get that because that's my mom. This is what we do amongst the so-called black community. We can sit there and delete each other all day long. But as soon as somebody from a different race do it, All of a sudden, we're mad. We want to march. Get BLM out there. Get all of them out there because this is obviously a racist thing that happened. The only reason why it happened because of racism. This is why we're doing it. But so what I'm saying to Mr. X's comment, I'm not saying in any way that or insinuating that this is what you are meaning. But when we say things like, man, come on, man, a brother was deleted, we don't care that. We don't care like that. Because if we did, anytime a so-called brother or a sister was deleted, we would be pissed off at that as well.
Yeah, I was just going to add too, Ty, because like here's the thing that I see is think about the inverse too, right? So imagine if somebody was on the subway, the L in Chicago, whatever, and it was like a white woman screaming the N-word or something. Do you think they'd and then a black person killed the white woman? Do you think people would come out and scream racism, would scream there needs to be justice for this white woman?
Nope.
No. Because going onto the subway and making comments that are in some way threatening, demeaning, derogatory, and rude makes it so that you are opening yourself up to potentially being assaulted, subdued. Like when you say things that piss people off, here's even the thing is, so when I go out and I like table with Turning Point or something, now I don't deserve to get hit, beaten, killed, anything like that, but I'm prepared for it because I know that the things that I am doing are controversial and elicit certain emotions from people.
Absolutely.
And so that's the thing is if you're going to go out and you're going to be in some way threatening and rude or in any way just scary to people, then you got to be ready for anything.
Absolutely.
And part of what happens to you is on you. And it's not necessarily because of race or anything like that. It's because you were threatening people on a subway.
Exactly. I mean, is that really hard to understand, folks? Is it really that hard to understand that if you are, I don't know if you've seen the video too, where the guy was on the airplane and he was pretty much almost doing the same exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the airplane saying, oh, today is going to be it. Like everybody's going down. He was saying like the only way that's going to get me is that he said, I'm going to be riddled with bullets on the airplane.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just irate because I'm like, what? And there was passengers sitting in front of this man while he was sitting on the airplane. And look, guys, look, y'all can say what y'all want to. I'm not scared. I'm not scared to talk. The man that was on this airplane making threats of harming people and saying he's going to take the plane down, et cetera, and saying the only way that anybody going to get out of this is that he's going to have to take bullets. This man fit the description of the very people we claim that blew up the buildings at 9/11. And what's funny is that the passengers in front of this man, they just sat there. And to me, I told them, I don't care what you say. The minute that man said, everybody on this plane is going down. The only way I'm going out, dude wouldn't even have gotten that full sentence out of his mouth before I would have rocked his skull.
Mm-hmm.
You're making threats on the airplane. We know what happened on 9/11. And then you on a plane, you're on a plane saying what you're going to do. And the only way that this plane, dude, this is what I'm talking about.
Well, and this is something that the left does a lot too, Ty. If you ever like read comments on, especially on like the city's Facebook or something, whenever we try to talk about free speech, you always see the left come back and say, well, freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences. And like, they're right, actually. But the thing is that they only want to say you're not free from consequences when it's them doxing a person and saying, here's their home address.
Exactly.
When they say something they don't like, but they'll never say freedom from consequences when it's a mentally ill person threatening people on a subway.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about, folks. And I told you guys, yeah, they might not come and take that whole Constitution and try to burn it down, but what they will do, they will try to create scenarios and create a rhetoric and put it all through media to keep you from exercising the rights that actually is in the Constitution. So like what Kev just said, you sit there, you can say that, but you're going to deal with the consequences. Well, guess what? This dude on the subway, this is what happened to him.
Effed around and found out, you know?
Yeah,
effed around and found out.
Exactly. And the thing is, no, I don't want no one to lose their life. But rest assured, Ty Smith, I only have one. I got one journey through this thing called life. And I guarantee you, I'm going out fighting. On that airplane, I do not care, dude. That man would have got rocked on that sub train with that man doing that. If that Marine was not there and I was there, I'm not going to say the same thing would have happened, but something would have happened to the extent to where that man would have been subdued. It's just no, folks. We cannot let them. They are trying to push a rhetoric so hard that you are scared to defend your own self. It's amazing to me because they want to sit there all of a sudden. I love when they do stuff like this. I love when they do things like, oh, well, you know, BS mental. Look, I'm sorry, y'all. There are people out there with legit mental illness, but when you try to put mental illness on everything, it makes everything diluted. Just like right now, my sons, if my sons have children one day, my grandchildren probably won't even know what racism really is. Because everything is racist. Everybody got mental illness. And it dilutes it. Golly, everybody is a woman. Everything has been completely twisted to where you don't even know the true definition. So I'm glad I held on to all my old school books I had going through school and college, because if you try to look anything up on Google, everything's going to be twisted to what they want it to fit. They want it to fit a certain type of narrative, a certain type of ideology. Keep your old books, folks. I'm telling you. But this is where we're at right now, folks. If you're listening to me right now, you cannot be scared to stand up for truth and righteousness, and I'm going to stand on that until my last breath on this earth. I don't care who it is. What we need to do is stop praising bad behavior, because what you're doing, you're enabling the criminals, the lawbreakers, you're enabling them to do that if they know that they're going to be protected by you. Ooh, I can go out and commit a crime. And if I do, I know I'm going to have these folks that don't have a brain to sit there and they're going to back me up. All of a sudden, this dude pretty much was a career criminal. It's amazing. This happens in the hood. I had a cousin, we knew he robbed people. I had a cousin that robbed people. And he lost his life because somebody had a weapon too. And they deleted him. And all of a sudden, we go to the funeral and they want to talk about he gave his life to the Lord. I was like, gave his life to the Lord? He gave his life to the devil. What we talking about? Folks, I'm getting worked up here. We got to take a break here. More of the show when we come back. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all still being in here and rocking this out again. Don't forget to hit that like button if you did not hit it yet. Okay? Don't forget to hit that like button. Appreciate it if y'all did that. Also, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Y'all see up here on the screen, if you're on YouTube, you see my guy Kev right here. Make sure you go over there and subscribe to his channel, Speechless with Kev. You can tell him, Kev. Tell him all about it.
I'll put in the comments that link. I was gonna go back. Somebody earlier, I gotta find it. Somebody said that they're not getting notifications for my channel. I'm sure the same thing happens to Ty too. Everybody, just make sure you ring the notification bell, push to all. Always make sure you go back and just check that you're subscribed to Ty and myself, and pretty much anybody that even tries to put even a remotely right-leaning idea out there. That's what YouTube does, is they'll try to make it so you don't get notifications for our videos and stuff. So just make sure you push the notification bell to all. I know there's sometimes where I could put out 3-4 videos a day, and it might be a little annoying to be getting all of those, but I'd rather you get all the notifications than none of them. So definitely just make sure you're doing that. And I'll put my link in the. But yeah, I'm a college kid, Central Illinois. For anybody that doesn't know who I am, I come out with a lot of great videos, and Ty really hits a lot of social stuff really well. I try to do some different levels of research and stuff. I just came out with a video today. I did it on a live stream a few days ago, but I cut it down. I went through the entire Durham report. I read through it personally, and I highlighted in the video some of the most important things to know about how corrupt the FBI is, how Hillary Clinton and the DNC are in on all of it. So definitely go and make sure you check that out. Check out my channel. I had another one that blew up the other day, Bud Light and everything, how much they've lost. Over 5 weeks of just straight losses on Bud Light, everybody. And I even talked a little bit about another one about the whole Miller Lite advertisement. Did you see that one, Ty?
Yes.
And I'll be going live tomorrow. There's a lot of companies that are going woke right now. Ford, Target, Adidas, so much. I mean, Ty, are you going to get your woman's swimsuit that you can tuck your pee-pee into?
No, I'm black, so we can't tuck nothing. They need to make one that got a tube going down the leg.
All right, you're coming back for your last segment here.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Cities 92.9, the dudes are talking Bloomington Normal. I am Ty Smith, a.k.a. Modern Renaissance Man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is 309-451-9299. You can text the show at 451-9299. Come and check me out on YouTube, where you can see me live in the studio, and I can see you. Not really, but you definitely can see me. And you go onto YouTube, type in Modern Renaissance Man, and you will see a thumbnail. Click that thumbnail, and it should let you know that I'm live. When you do, boom, there I am. It helps because a lot of times, if you're not able to make it through the phone lines, you can definitely leave your comment for me, and also the producer for me, Kev Ferris, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kev Ferris, to see it here on YouTube, and we can highlight some of those comments. So, before we took the break, you guys heard me talking about this current situation that got me riled up. That's going to actually lead into a whole different situation as well. We talked about this Marine, this hero, who saved many lives on this sub train from a guy who was being enabled by our justice system to continue to go and terrorize you law-abiding citizens. And this is starting to be a trend across America. I cannot make this as, I'm gonna try to make this as layman as can be. I'm gonna try to use a very, very easy analogy that at least a fourth grader would be able to understand. If you have a animal, a dog, let's just say a dog. If you have a dog and you know that your dog, come on now, you know that your dog is dangerous. You know that your dog bites. That's why you have a sign on your fence or on your door that says, beware of dog. Your dog bites. You know this, right? If you leave your fence to your home open, and anyone that walks past your fence, your dog runs out and your dog attacks the person. They take your dog, put it in a pound for a little bit. They give you most likely a fine. They give you your dog back. When they give you your dog back, you do the same exact thing. You put your dog on your porch. You don't put him on a leash. You don't train him. You don't pretty much correct his behavior. You let him be as he is. Somebody else walks by and maybe they have their little dog or whatever dog they have with them. Your dog runs out. Your dog attacks that person's dog. They do the same process over again. They put your dog in a pound. They give you a fine. They give you your dog back. Next go around, your dog does the same exact thing. What would you do? You would say, okay, this is getting ridiculous. You know that your dog is known for attacking people. Every time somebody walks past, go down the sidewalk, people are scared to death because every time they walk past, they are afraid that your dog is going to attack. Your dog, in other words, has a rap sheet. And every time your dog gets taken, the pound gives you your dog back, and you allow your dog to continue on with the behavior that your dog is doing. You guys will say, man, that is crazy. Something needs to be done. Well, that's exactly what's going on right now, ladies and gentlemen. The criminals are going to jail for a very short period of time and being released to go right back out and do exactly what I just told you guys that this dog is doing.
Well, and two things, Ty. First off is in your analogy, if that were to actually be playing out, they'd put that dog down the first time that it bit anybody. That's the first thing, is they'd put it down. And the second thing is that what we have right now is we have the patients running the asylum. That's really what we have, is we have the patients running the asylum. We see it in this instance, in which, I mean, in Illinois, we basically legalized most crime. Is with the Safety Act that we have, criminals are just getting out super quickly. I mean, in Chicago, you could basically do everything besides murder somebody, and you'll be out of jail within a few days at most. And then along with that, we also have, I mean, most of our social issues. I mean, the whole LGBTQ, the alphabet mafia comes after everybody who even slightly says, hey, maybe we shouldn't be cutting off 9-year-olds' genitalia. Maybe we shouldn't be shoving these pharmaceuticals down their throat that permanently harm them. Maybe we shouldn't be doing this. Well, then the alphabet mafia comes down and gets down your throat, not in the way that you're thinking, but they jump down your throat. and it's really, like I said, it is the patients running the asylum. It is the patients running the asylum. Is we have no control. Nobody with any sense of sanity has any control anymore. We don't. It's all the insane people are dictating how the rest of society can live.
Yo, Kev kind of broke me off. Y'all didn't catch that on well. But no, he's exactly right, folks. This is exactly right, is that we got people that are actually patience running the show. That's exactly why you see that it's very well protected. That's why now all of a sudden everybody is going to have mental illness. That's why people who have gender dysphoria, that is going to be completely normalized. That's why people who are going to be considered to be MAPs, minorly attracted persons, that's why they are going to be able to do what they're doing, because that's going to be a thing that they're going to want to normalize, because they're going to allow people to pretty much commit crimes based off of these people's crazy, psychopathic impulses that they have within them to want to do these things. But the question is this: how long y'all gonna continue to let them do it?
Well, that's the biggest thing, Ty, is really what this comes down to is two main things. One, the destruction of the church, and two, the destruction of the family. Because you want to know when I was growing up. So when I was growing up, and this is a lighter story that leads to the larger theme. When I was growing up, I used to sing in the hallways, like when I was in middle school and stuff.
Right.
And I would get made fun of a little bit for it at school. And then I'd go home and I'd be like, Mom, I'm getting bullied. She's like, well, what are you getting bullied for? Well, I'm singing in the hallways. And she was like, well, maybe that's actually kind of flipping weird that you're singing in the hallways and you should stop it. And so then I did. I stopped getting bullied and everything was fine because my mom was willing to call out my inappropriate behavior, my behavior that did not align with regular social standards. And now I kill it at karaoke nights.
Well,
so
you know,
that's the thing is there's a time and a place for everything, for almost everything. And you need to learn when that is. And it's so important that your family and your church tell you that. Those are the people that should be the most honest with you. And then when we have the left that comes after the traditional family, comes after any sense of trying to tell, like, I mean, there's certain states, and I think Illinois is one of them, where if your kid wants to pretend to be the other gender, wants to be a transformer, the teacher actually has a legal obligation not to tell the parents unless the kid says it's okay.
Yes.
And once again, I say the patients are running the asylum.
Absolutely, man. That's crazy, y'all. And y'all, if y'all not really, like I said, to me, if you're not paying attention to this, you can be easily overran. I mean, that's your own. You're going to tell me what to do and how I'm supposed to be with my own child. This is what you're going to tell me. Absolutely 100% not, folks. People all day long. This is what gets me about some of you guys, and I'm just telling the truth. We're losing America. America's gonna know. You guys are doing, y'all allowing it to happen. Okay, I'm not trying to go religious on y'all, but there's a scripture in this great book called the Holy Bible. It says, give no place to the devil. Okay? Give no place to the devil. It didn't say when the devil takes. I know we got songs. I went to the enemy camp and I took back what he stole. No. That Bible says, give no place to the devil. You're giving it up while sitting back saying, look what's going on in America. Look what they doing. They taking y'all kids. Look what's going on. They taking away our rights. We can't even defend. No, they taking away y'all rights. I'm going to defend myself because that's what the law says I'm going to do, what I'm able to do. Trust me when I tell you, they're not showing you guys that this Marine has a lot of support. He has a lot of support, and I ain't gonna lie to you, if our dang on military wasn't so sissified, you would think that they would be behind this man too. This man needs a parade. I bet you those people on that train, I bet you they're happy. I bet you they're glad that they made it home. I bet you they're happy that they get to go home and see their grandchildren or their daughter, their son, their mother, their brother. Because who knows that on that day, that could have been the end of their life versus the criminal's life. And you heard what we just said when I used that dog analogy, when Kev said they would have put that dog down. But let's look at that from a metaphorical standpoint and say, putting the dog down was the equivalent of them telling that owner, you are not getting your dog back because your dog is a danger to society. And all of a sudden, your dog got mental health. If he has mental health, why was he in a mental institution? Not being released back out to do the same behavior that you know he's going to do. It's easy. It's real easy. So guess what? Not on purpose, but that Marine put an end to it. I bet there's not going to be no more terrified folks now. Folks, we got to take a break. More to show when we come back. Listen to Cities 92.9 and do the talk of Bloomington Normal. All right, folks. So we getting ready to open up the panel to allow you guys to get on here. I just want to let you guys know Kev is getting ready to drop the link.
I'll do it right now.
When you click the link, you will be put in what we call like the green room or the back room. I will be able to see you, but no one live will be able to see you guys. Nobody on YouTube will be able to see you guys until we actually bring you up. Do not get on here and cuss, okay? Some cuss words are allowed, but we just gonna say don't say none of them at all. Just don't say none, okay? Just gonna let y'all know that, okay? So again, y'all see the link over here that we just dropped. You click on that link right there. That will allow you to cam up. Also, when I say cam up, when you come on, you're going to have to show your face to me. And you're going to have to wave at me. And then you can press the button to go back off cam. If you come on here and you don't show yourself, I'm not going to bring you up because I got to see who you are in the back room. You got to wave at me or something like that so I know it's you. And then we get into the conversation. Then we can bring you up because, folks, there are people up here that are trolls. And they can do things on here to where if I bring them up on camera and it's something sexually explicit or something crazy like that, we have to completely shut the stream down.
And I will sue you.
Yes. Miss Scarlett. I know who you are, though. I know who you are. We got Miss Scarlett in the back room right now.
We're probably going to have George call in at some point, too. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, 2 minutes from now, George calls.
As soon as we go, what's going on, Luther? Listen, 692.
Exactly. I don't know. But to add, like, a few things, I mean, what's his face? Daniel Penny has already raised. I mean, a GoFundMe for him already has like $2 million.
That's like, awesome. Should be like at 10.
Yeah.
Andrea in the back room. Can you wave? When you wave at me, Andrea, then you can go right back off cam. We just got to know it's you. Just do a little hand waving. Okay. I see you, sis. Appreciate it.
I think she called into my show one time too.
Nice. Miss Beth says they added the Fruit Loops to the military because they will go with whatever our government wants. That's why we need to keep our guns. A civil war is coming. You think that's what it's building up to? I want to jump on, but I'm covered in paint. Oh, okay, Andrea, I got you. Richard says, do not stop preaching the truth, my friend. It is the leftist liberals' policies that are causing hate and discontent and dividing us. We are all Americans first. We are red, white, and blue. Absolutely. And we come back, I'm gonna try to read this comment off for the listeners out here in Illinois. Hey, MRM, the dog analogy was spot on. The reason that poor man got deleted wasn't because of a patriot. A United States Marine went out the day looking to do harm. The harm is left policies. Laura, Washington State wants to take the right from the agents. Those demons, Democrat states, this is happening. Paul says the few companies such as BlackRock and CIA front own all the American brand names. Their goal is to destroy everything connected to American pride. Watch the World says, can't they block GoFundMe money? I think, yeah, that's a good question. I know they did it with PayPal and all that too when Candace Owens then was trying to help some folks out.
Well, there was that. There was issues with when the truckers in Canada did their anti-vax stuff.
Yeah.
Remember that? I think that might have been GoFundMe, or maybe it was change.org. I don't know. So one of those types of websites made it so that they couldn't get their funding, their money.
Folks, we're on a break right now. That's why y'all don't hear us talking about the certain subject. We are going to get back into that subject and allow you guys to come on. So just stay patient with us up here. Don't forget, if you are kind of coming in here right now, that you hit that like button so the video can be circulated. Don't forget to go over there and subscribe to Speechless with Kev Ferris.
Thank you.
You're probably going to drop the link in there so you guys can go over there and subscribe. Make sure you do that.
Be live tomorrow, 3 to 5, talking about a lot of the woke crap going on with these companies. Probably got a few other. I'm going to talk a little bit. Jim Jordan had a great talk. He was questioning FBI intelligence. I believe it was FBI that's been investigating the Catholic Church, and not for like priests or anything like that. The FBI was just getting into the Catholic Church for claims of extremism. Yeah, because apparently all Catholics. I'm an Irish Catholic for everybody out there, and it just really pisses me off. They come after Catholics for being extremists. It's insane. We have a weaponized federal government for overt political parties just to come after their opponents.
That is crazy.
But you are coming back just about now.
And we are black. I got y'all. We are back, Bloomington Normal. I'm Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299. Again, it is 309-451-9299. And you're listening to my show, Cancel This. Also, check me out on YouTube right now where you can see me animated in the studio along with my producer, Kev Ferris. Go onto YouTube, type in Modern Renaissance Man, and you will see me live in the studio where I can interact with you and you can interact with me. You can leave comments so that the people here in Central Illinois can see that we got listeners from all over commenting on these subjects that we're talking about. We're not just Central Illinois, ladies and gentlemen. Season 92.9 is global. Yes, you heard me. We're global. We got people listening in from all over the world. Yes, we do. All right. Got a comment right here from someone on the internet. Richard says, do not stop preaching the truth, my friend. It is the leftist liberal policies that are causing hate and discontent and dividing us. We are all Americans first. We are red, white, and blue. And that is absolutely 100%, which leads me to get ready to sum up this story that will lead me into my next story. If we did focus on what he just left, that comment right there, we are Americans first. If we left it at that, the left would not have a argument. They would not have a fight. They would not have a rhetoric when it comes to dividing us based off of race. They would not at all. Did you guys know that there was a man in Florida who was deleted the same way that George Floyd was? And not only that, he was being made fun of while he was taking his last breaths. The police had him down. They had a knee on his back. They had his head to the side. They had pressure on him. This man was taking his last breaths and the police were making fun of him. The same type of police officers that was at George Floyd's death, you know, a white cop, black cop, a brown cop, the same type of cops was at this man's arrest as well. But guess what? It got no type of play. Why? Because it was a white man that lost his life. Go look up Tony Temper. Go look it up. Don't believe me. Go look it up and see the whole video. And then the police them lied and said, and lied to his mom and told them they don't know pretty much how he lost his life. He died of some other circumstances. But then when the video came out, that broke that woman's heart to see that they are responsible for that woman's son being deleted. So what are you saying this for, Ty? You notice something is up when all they do is get hung up on race. We get hung up on race. And that's why this story has any significance at all, is because it's dealing with race. I guarantee you or your money back, they're going to use this story with this hero, Daniel Penny, who saved lives that day from a career criminal that the justice system failed by allowing him to go out amongst civilized people and continue his reign of terror. The only reason why it has attention is because he turned out to be a white man. And, you know, since he's white, it's you know, he has his DNA is inherently racist. And, you know, the military is built on white supremacy. That's the reason why he did what he did. They are trying to charge this hero with second-degree manslaughter. They got people on there race hustling. 5 to 10 years is not enough. That man should serve 0 time for doing what he did. 0 time. So this is going to roll over to my next subject here, folks. Daniel Penny saved other black lives on the train that day. He saved other black lives. His intentions was not to delete that man, but that man just happened to die, but it wasn't his intentions. He felt bad about it. Matter of fact, later videos showed he actually tried to do some aid. Once the guy kind of passed out, he did some aid. They laid him on his side and they tried to do some rescue aid of some shape, form, or fashion, right? BLM, black folks, black community, and some of y'all crazy virtue signaling snow cone color hair social justice warrior crew folks, y'all all want to get out there and try to march for a criminal. This is not right. This is not right. This is just sticking to justice. This is racist. This is what's wrong with our country. No justice, no peace. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist military people gotta go. Shut up. BLM out here marching, but we're ready to go into what I'm going to be bringing this home with. A 24-year-old Chicago police officer was slain. This police officer was slain by three thugs, 3 criminals. She was slain by 3 criminals. A police officer was. They ambushed her, took her life. She was serving the community as a police officer, 24 years old, if I recall. Serving her community. Last weekend, or maybe this weekend, she was supposed to graduate with her master's in criminal justice. She was going to go down a path to try to bring justice to the black community of those that might have been done wrong by the justice system. But the very people she was going to go and defend and look out for, the very people that she was serving, they deleted her. Why didn't this story make it big, huh? How come Al Sharpton didn't go there? Why didn't Jesse Jackson go there? Where's the NAACP? Where's the Rainbow Coalition? Where are you most of the time? Out of shape, out of breath, snow cone color hair, social justice warrior, big giant, screaming, yelling, sweating. Where y'all at? Oh, I know. The police officer, the young woman, she was black. Oh, that's why this didn't become a big story. That's why this is not all over all mainstream media. That's why this is not even big on the local news. And if you're tuning in with us right now on the internet, we have her picture up right now. We have her picture up there right now. This young police officer was slain by people that look just like her, and it did not get nearly the attention that a Marine that saved the lives of people on the train did. She's not getting nearly the attention and the praise that she deserves. She did what a lot of people tell her to, what they told her to do. If you want your community to be better, how about more black people become police officers so you can better protect your neighborhoods? She did that. If you want to protect your people, she even went above and beyond. She went above and beyond and said, not only am I going to be a police officer to police my community and serve my community, but I'm going to go get my master's in criminal justice so I can further serve them. And look what she get. She get her life taken, and then she gets no kind of praise and no respect for doing it. But y'all want to sit there, oh, this is white supremacy. Look what he did. That man on that train that lost his life, he was another brother. Oh, that man on that train, he gave his life to the Lord when he was 10 years old. He was always such a sweet young boy. The freaking heck out of here. But then she did everything right. She did everything right. She is the epitome and the cold 100% representation of what a lot of young black folks should aspire to do. Serve your community by protecting your community, and then go further on and do it to the extent to where you can possibly serve them if they've been done wrong by going into criminal justice. And this is what you get. There is no winning. And with that being said, a lot of y'all gonna get ticked off at me for saying this. This is the reason why I said there's a difference between blacks. Oh, I know this is gonna get hot. There's a difference between blacks and there's a difference between Negroes. And I'm talking about I'm talking about the mindset, in case y'all don't know this. There's a difference between whites and a difference between what y'all call trailer trash. There is a difference, and that's based on mindset. And this is the reason why I tell certain individuals that look like myself, they get a chance to get the heck out of here. We have to separate ourselves as being blacks from those that are the degenerates. You as a white person have to separate yourself from other whites that look like you, from other whites that are degenerates. You cannot be around that mindset. They're not for you. They are not there to help you. They will do one of two things. They will keep you from achieving your goal, or they will be the reason why you will leave this earth. And it's not just a color thing. It is a mindset. It is a complete mindset. More to show when we come back, ladies and gentlemen. You listen to Cities 92.9, the news to talk of Bloomington Normal. Woo! All right, folks. So when we come back on here, I'll be able to bring some of you guys up on the panel and we can get more into this.
Okay, I got to make an announcement. I don't know who this guy is. I know he's called in the past. He's like the kind of French-looking dude or sounding dude, you know. He keeps calling. If that's you or you're like this dude, do not call in if you're trying to talk about something that has not been talked about all day. Like, you're an idiot if you do something like that, and I'm going to hang up on you. If you're calling into this phone, which I control, and I say, what do you want to talk about? And you bring up something that has nothing to do with what Ty is talking about, I will hang up on you, and you do not deserve my respect. So stop it. Thank you. Get some help.
Wow. Yeah, folks, that should be an easy thing to do, y'all. I mean, that should be easy to do. If you hear this subject that we're talking about right now, and you want to talk about, oh yeah, you know what they're doing over there in Taiwan, you know, they're giving the people a shot of no, don't do that.
Well, he calls in and he's like, and I'm like, what do you want to talk about? And he goes, the immigrants being shipped to New York. And I'm like, that's not even like tangentially related, you idiot.
Oh,
and then he calls in again. And then he calls in again. He calls in again and is like, I would like to talk to Ty. And I'm like, you just called in. Like, you have a distinct voice. I know what it sounds like. I work in radio. Like, I know how to listen, and I can hear that you are the same person. I'm like, no, screw you. You had your shot and you missed it.
He just, I would like to talk to you. Like, what? Oh my God. You're not going to be able to trick Kev, pretty much. You're not going to be able to do it.
No, don't be an idiot.
Stop.
Stop.
Holy smokes. All right, Mama Donna and Andrea, when we get into this, I'm probably going to bring you guys up. I see that George hasn't called back yet. And George, if you're watching, sir, you better try to get it in if you're going to call, because once we do it panel-wise, it's kind of hard.
You're coming back.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Cities 92.9, the news to talk of Bloomington Normal. I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299, and you can text the show at 309-451-9299. Come and check me out on YouTube, where you can see me live in the studio. On YouTube, go to YouTube, type in Modern Renaissance Man, or you can actually type in Cities 92.9 as well into the search bar, and you will see me live in the studio. You can do this every time somebody from our studio goes live. Kevin is going live tomorrow between the hours of 3 and 5. You can catch him live here in the studio as well by going to Cities 92.9 on YouTube, folks. And before we took the break, you guys heard me going in, and I told you that I know it's going to make a lot of people uncomfortable. We just got to get down to the nitty-gritty, because It has to be done. It has to be said. It has to be said. And people already know, because the comments and stuff started moving. My phone emails started shooting up the minute I said blacks have to separate themselves. And I mentioned the word Negroes. And people took a hint at what I meant by that. And it ain't what you think. I'm talking about a mindset. I said that white people have to separate themselves from what they consider to be white trailer trash. So I'll go a little further and say black people of a certain mindset need to separate themselves from the hood mentality, from the projects mentality, from the ghetto mentality. That's what I'm talking about. Get mad at me all you want to. I do not care. So those folks of the black community that says things to me like, you might be skin folk, but you ain't kin folk. Yes, thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that my brain is not stupid like yours. Thanks for acknowledging that I actually wanted to do something with my life and get away from the ghetto mentality of wanting to live with roaches and live with mice and be on Section 8 and be on welfare and rob the government, be on food stamps, causing taxpayers to pay for your phone, causing taxpayers to pay for your food stamps and all. Yeah. Yes, I'm separate from that. Thank you for acknowledging that. No, I'm not of that mindset. Thank you. And that goes for the same folks that are white as well. If you are pretty much leeching off the government, you on welfare, you in your trailer park, whatever you want to call it, mobile homes, whatever you want to call it. If you're a particular type of mindset and you do the same exact thing, oh, see, you know, if it wasn't for me being in this trailer, I mean, white people, y'all have no idea. Y'all do the same exact thing. Black people, do y'all know that white people say the same exact thing that y'all do? We say the white man, and then the white people say the man. We say, oh, the white power, and then the white people say, oh, the elitist. The same exact complaint. It's amazing to me that y'all know exactly who's doing it to us, how they're doing it, why they're doing it, and yet you still let them do it. I am not a part of what you want to call the degenerates, be it white or black. I do not care. I don't know. No, I'm not a part of that. Not at all. The reason I'm saying is because I got really passionate about these two stories and how I brought them together. A white Marine who fought for this country to defend us, to keep us safe. He saved lives on a sub train. He saved lives on a sub train from a career criminal. And then he's getting punished for it. They're trying to punish him for it and trying to call him a racist. Then we have a black, young, beautiful police officer who wanted to do something for her city of Chicago. She wanted to serve her community, and then she was getting ready to get her master's. She was doing all the right things of what a lot of blacks should be aspiring to do. She was about to give back to her community. And her community thanked her by taking her life. But yet, racism is the problem. It's because of white supremacy. It's because of systemic racism. Well, if they tie CRT, BS, because when it all comes down to it, we still continue to be deleted by our own kind, by our own community, by our own skin folk. So if you have that mindset and that's the excuse that you want to use, you're right. I'm not a part of you. For white people, if you are among white people and they want to use that same excuse of why other whites from the trailer park can't get ahead or whatever, then guess what? I don't want to. You shouldn't want to be a part of them anyway. Call out the BS. Well, I am at a point, and a lot of folks like myself, we are at a point to where we are done patty caking to y'all nonsense. Absolute nonsense. With that being said, folks, I'm about to bring up one of our first guests to the show, who's been in the back and been waiting so patiently.
I'm so good.
Miss Scarlett, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. And I know you've been listening. I appreciate your patience. You've been
I've
hearing
been
everything
good.
we've been talking about, and the floor is yours, sis. Go ahead, wherever you want to start.
Well, what you were saying a minute ago about trailer trash, the difference, I'm going to tell you the difference between trailer trash and people who are black, who are on welfare. Trailer trash, their houses, their insides of their houses are disgusting. Probably 90% of them. And not just that, they dress horribly and they smell. And they like, I'll see black women they'll pay for with welfare, and they dress nice. They're using Coach pocketbooks and drive nice cars.
Oh, well, that means they're getting child support.
Well, trailer trash people ain't like that. I
I'm
mean,
joking.
anybody who knows it's completely different. They're usually drug addicts. I'm going to be honest. I mean, sometimes you'll have older people who might, retire in a trailer, but usually they don't stay in some of the trailer parks. But most of them, like I said, it's just a completely different. They don't dress anything like a black woman or a black man who's on welfare. I'm just going to say. And we know who they are when we see them. We all know who they are. They'll come into the grocery store barefoot, and their clothes look all dirty, and they smell bad like alcohol.
Big time.
So, I mean, yeah, it's a little bit different. It's probably a lot worse than anybody else on welfare. But about what I was going to also tell you about, I don't know if I sent you the video. I've sent you some videos. Is there was a store, a guy was shoplifting. He was a black man, and a black security guard was wrestling with him, and he actually shot the guy as he was running away, and they're not charging him. Killed him.
Wait. Who did what now? I mean, I heard part of it, but I mean,
it was a black shoplifter, a boy.
Okay,
young
got
boy.
you.
I don't know. He might have been. He looked young, and he got in a fight with the security officer. He was black. And when he got up, he was running out the door, and the security guard followed him and shot him. And they said they weren't going to charge the security officer because his life was in danger. The guy was running away. And I thought,
when it comes down to it, that's because there's nothing new. Negroes killing Negroes is nothing new. So, hey, it happens every single day. So why should we care?
The media to me is like, I've been showing you all those videos of all those different black people fighting and beating up white people. It's, all the time they're showing them constantly. I'm like, if the media
see, but look, that's okay though, Madame, because y'all been doing it to us for 400 years. We just getting our reparations and getting it back on y'all's.
I don't think I've ever beat anyone up. So, I don't count.
Well, your ancestors did, so we just getting it back. Us beating up white folks is part of our reparations. Feel our whips.
My ancestors were from Ireland on one side, and from Greece, my mama's side, and Romania. So I don't think so. No, mine didn't. My grandpa on my dad's side didn't get here until right at the turn of the century. So we weren't here. My family wasn't here. We weren't the original settlers. That's what gets me. They're sitting there saying, well, we got to pay you reparations. I'm like, well, we weren't here. In fact, I think some of my ancestors were slaves, or, the Irish, they were treated pretty bad.
Oh yeah. Big time.
And that's here. I mean, my grandpa worked in a crazy lunatic house. What's it called? An insane asylum, because he couldn't get a job nowhere else, and then he ran moonshine because he didn't make but like $1 a week.
That sounds like some backwoods Carolina redneck stuff. So what do you think about the incident with the
like I said, if it would have been reversed, if there was a black guy helping him, if it would have been him down there would have been nothing said. Nothing at all said. They would just said it was a terrible accident. He didn't mean to do it. If it would have been a black on black crime, or what happened.
You probably wouldn't have heard of it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It would never been said. Nothing said. And then the family, now they show up, and I'm like, well, why weren't you taking care of your son? If you care so much, if you knew he was nuts, you should have been keeping him at your house or putting him in a, asylum or something. I mean, if it was one of my kids, I would try to take care of my child. I wouldn't let him go out and do anything. But now they want the money and trying to act like, oh, you didn't care about your son. You didn't care about him at all.
No, but you know what? What's really interesting is that's something that people have a hard time understanding, and they don't want to address it because it has accountability. And folks, we're getting ready to take a break here, and we come back. We're going to hear more on the subject. We got Miss Scarlett on the line with us right now. You listen to Season 92.9, the news to talk of Bloomington Normal. So we just taking a break right now, Mama Donna. We're going to get back into it once we come back so we can continue this.
Gotcha.
Folks, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to double check to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Don't forget also who's Kev. Go check out his channel, Speechless with Kev Ferris.
He should go out talking to people some more. I like
Whoa. What? Mama Don? You have no idea. I'm going to put it on my channel. I'm going to put this on my channel. Okay?
What?
Kev.
We got George.
When we come back, we'll bring George.
I'm going to put you on hold. We'll bring you out.
Okay. So, Mama Don, Kev sent me a video. He was in Peoria when Ron DeSantis came in Illinois.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to post it on my channel to show you guys how Kev was treated. And Kev does go out. He did exactly that. He went out, had a camera, had a microphone. He was just asking questions, and I'm going to show it to you guys.
I think I saw that one. Is it on his channel?
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. He needs to do that more often. I like those. Just a suggestion.
So I do want to do more of those ones. I have a few contacts that'll let me know that are going to let me know like when there's different protests and stuff like that going on.
Yeah, I like those. That's
the biggest thing is it's got to happen within a certain amount of proximity to me because like I'm not gonna I don't have the money to fly all the way out to like California or DC to consistently do videos. Like I want to eventually be able to do that, but I can't do it right now. So it's got to be somewhere around me.
Well, I like those because I used to watch this other guy do it. I think it was on Mark Dice.
Oh yeah,
he used to do it. He used to ask them simple, ask college. You already go to the colleges.
I'm gonna do it at the beginning of next semester.
Yeah.
Probably go out and just talk to some kids.
He was just asking them basic questions about America, and they didn't know like how many branches of government there were. Just basic.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do stuff like that.
Yeah. What do we celebrate the 4th of July for? They didn't know. These are college students.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I remember there was one where a guy was saying something on the notion of he was like, what country is Utah in? And they were like, I think is it like Africa? I mean, that was bad.
I've seen stuff like that.
Terrible.
Oh, that stuff, it kills me. It hurts my brain. I lose brain cells when I see
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those things are so funny, especially at colleges when you see how stupid they really are. And I honestly, I'll sit here, I about pee on myself watching them just because they're so dumb. I've got a 10-year-old grandchild that's smarter than people.
No, I guarantee. I bet. I wouldn't.
I
would
doubt it.
not doubt it.
Well, I'm like, did their mom and daddy not talk to them about any of this stuff? I mean, I learned, the branches of government and government stuff in 8th or 9th grade. They had no clue. They didn't even know who our vice president was. And I think it was during Trump when it was Pence.
Yep.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
This is where we are. We're about to come back on here in a second. Though. This is where we are as America. This is where we are in America right now. And they have these young folks dumbed down so bad. They're just like, oh, we have a monopoly on here because now they don't know nothing, that we can just push anything because they don't know what to fight against. Or
That's it. That's why that one guy's trying to make the voting age, 21?
And 25, but then he wants to make it so if you're a public servant in some way, like police officer, fire, medic, anything like that, military, then
the Marines or
or you could pass a test like a civics test, or otherwise it's 25. All right, we got to come back.
What's going on, Bloomington Normal? We are back here at Cities 92.9, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal. You're listening to my show, Cancel This, and I am your host, Ty Smith, aka Modern Renaissance Man. Come and check me out on YouTube. Go over to YouTube and type in Modern Renaissance Man, and you will see me live in the studio interacting with you, and you can interact with me. Also, you can blow up the lines here, which it is being blown up. The area code is 309-451-9299. You can text the show at that same number. And when we took the break, we had someone that called up on the line here, and we're going to address that call. Caller, you're on Cities 92.9. This is Ty.
Listen, two things. First thing, I don't know if your folks listened to your station yesterday, but the governor's going to pass a new law that all bathrooms are going to be co-ed, as long as they got stalls. and they're going to take out those hideous, they said that twice, hideous urinals. Well, when they take out the urinal, it uses less than 1/3 the amount of water than a toilet does. That means for people who are so conservative about our society and water and stuff, they're going to flush there's 2 million urinals in the state of Illinois. I looked it up, and roughly, and that means they're going to use 6 million gallons to flush what less than 1 million gallons will do. But it's okay. That's the Democrats. They can do it. Now, for guys who want reparation, they can have reparation. Why don't you go down and get it from them hillbillies? Get it from the guys who you vote for. You vote for all that trash down there. You Uncle Tom. You're not an Uncle Tom. They're Uncle Toms. Any black that votes Democrat is an Uncle Tom. They shuffle their feet and goes, yeah, it's a mess. I'm going to vote for you. Gee, do I get myself in trouble? No, because it's the truth. Why do you keep voting for people that raped your grandmother and lynched your grandfather? Why? They're the ones that owned you. Why don't you go get the money from them? Nobody in the state of Illinois owned any slaves. Last year, July 10th, June 14th, whatever it was, Biden signed a bill with 7 blacks standing behind him about freeing the blacks in June. The last 2,200 black slaves that were freed December of 1965 in the state of Delaware. Hey guys, let's get our facts right. And as soon that she was gorgeous, that young cop that got killed. And by the way, cop stands for constable on patrol. It's not a slang term. It's 200-year-old English term, over 200 years old. One was 16, one was 19. I don't know what the other two. There was like 4 of them ganged up on her. Okay? It's terrible. Why is it your life doesn't mean anything, Ty? Unless you're taking out 10 times as many black officers kill blacks than white cops. In 2021, Fed stats, I was driving into the doctor's office. I cut my thumb. The guy come on and said, 9 unarmed, in the first 9 months now, 9 unarmed blacks were killed by white cops. 19 unarmed white people were killed by white cops. So I said to the guy who was bandaging my thumb up at the clinic, I said, hey, buddy, how come Black Lives Matter everybody else but the blacks? Well, I don't hear that shit. Oh, really?
George, we on the radio.
You're done. He's done.
Oh man, George, there's you got popped, George. I'm sorry. A cuss word slipped out, so they had to cut it, man, because we're about to get a fine by you, George. I know you slipped up, George, and we'll try to catch you next time. So yeah, George, you can't cuss on the radio, George. And you was going too. So you heard what was being said there, and we're back here. We still have Miss Scarlett here. Miss Scarlett, what say you?
I don't know what he said. I went to the bathroom.
Get out of here. Get out. No, I'm just messing with you. So no, but you can continue on with what you were talking about before we took the break.
I don't know what I'm old.
Look at this.
What I was talking
Look
about.
at this. North Carolina short attention span. No, I'm teasing you.
I have
I'm
ADD.
teasing. I am teasing. No. We were talking about this crazy nonsense with that with the Marine.
Oh,
And
I was
how
talking about
you were saying how the guy who lost his life, where was the mother during that time? Where was the family? So yeah, that's what you were kind of going towards.
If it was my child, he would have never been out there by himself. He would never be, loose on the world. Especially since, why was he even out of jail? If he kidnapped a little 7-year-old girl, he should have never been out of jail or wherever. Anybody who kidnaps a child needs to stay in prison, if you ask me.
Exactly. And you know what? What's really bad about it is that they have it listed in here. They have it listed in here where I think I read something where he was to be like on this, I forget what they call it. Don't quote me on this, but it's called like something like a no touch or pretty much like a no engage list for people that got mental illnesses. I have no idea what in the world that's supposed to mean.
I guess no one approach him, call somebody. I don't know. I don't understand why he was out of work. He should have been in a psychiatric ward or somewhere. If he kidnaps a little girl, he shouldn't have been let out, period. He was anyone who's a danger to society should stay in a psychiatric ward or prison or whatever. They should never get out. See, that's the problem. We keep letting people. I mean, I understand if you go to jail for pot, whatever, you don't need to stay in jail. But if you're going to jail because you physically tried to harm someone, like not just punched them, I mean, like you tried to kill them, or you did kill someone, or you almost killed someone, don't let them out of jail because they'll do it again. It's just a proven fact.
That's too easy. That's too logical. Why would we ever do that?
Well, you'll see sometimes people who got drug charges stay in jail longer than someone has I don't know if an assault charge on a woman.
There you go.
You know what
Sexual
I mean?
assault.
Yeah. So, I mean, what's with that? I mean, why do we care so much about someone? I know they're breaking the law, but if they aren't hurting anyone, they shouldn't be stuck in jail the rest of their life.
I agree. I completely agree. And in this particular case, though, it's sad because people seem to not be able to understand and see that they are being pimped. It's all pimped, and it's all nothing more than for somebody to be able to monetize off of this. BLM is going to monetize off of this. Al Sharpton is going to monetize off of this. It's all about them being able to monetize. That's all they are doing it for. Show and display fake virtue, give people all in their emotions. While you're there, you're going to end up taking up an offering and getting money out of them.
But them doing this and trying to just constantly villainize white people, they're making it, almost say, okay, it's all right if you attack a white person. We don't care. We don't care. Do it. Because nowadays, that's all I see all the time, over and video after video. I mean, I can probably show you 200 videos. And I'm like, what's going on? And it's all because all these Al Sharpton making all white people seem like they're horrible human beings. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some horrible white people. I know a couple. But to make it seem like the whole entire white race is out to get black people. I mean, really? I bet you 95% of them don't even sit there and think, about what a black person is doing that day. I mean, it's not just something we're constantly concentrating on how we can get at a black person and hurt them.
Well, that's the thing
on their mind.
Right. And that's the thing, though. It's like you create these scenarios to bring the attention to you. So it's the same playbook that they're using with the alphabet community. If you think about it, it's the same playbook because look what they do. They make videos. They make videos with the message of insinuating that we are after them. Like, you'll see a commercial or video of them going, "Don't judge me." Or you'll see a video of them going, "I can dress how I want, be what I want. Don't say anything." It's like nobody is thinking about y'all. So I made a video and actually got in trouble for it, but it's right back up because somebody tried to flag me for it on Instagram. It showed these different young people. One person's like, "I'm gay, I'm trans, I'm non-binary, I'm cis, I'm this, I'm that." And then I paused it and I jumped in and I said, "And I don't care." And I was letting them know, like, you guys making all these announcements and putting this stuff out there, and y'all coming out there with y'all fingers pointing as if somebody is judging y'all or doing something to y'all. You guys are making yourselves a target. And they're doing the same exact thing by everything that's going on out there in the world. If a white person look at me, why are you looking at me? You looking, oh, you race. I mean, it's amazing that now everything that is being done is because of white people. If you guys disagree, it's because of white people in your race. If you correct a black person, it's because you are bestowing your white supremacy upon me. Go ahead, Ken.
I want to be clear about something real quick. We just had a caller call in. So any talk about like where was Jordan Neely's parents or anything like that? His mom was actually killed when he was 14, and so I want to be.
Well, who is it that's trying to get? Is it his?
Yeah, because I thought the same thing. Like
they keep saying his family.
And it was always this one. Okay, I get it. Okay,
just saying, I want to be clear before we embarrass ourselves on saying
well,
anything more about
say who. I just said the parents. And as a mother, I wouldn't let, and neither would my husband. We wouldn't let our child go out into the world if we knew something was wrong with them.
Either way, I don't know like how he was raised or anything like that, but I just know that around, at least according to the caller, and I did check it on the internet too. His mom was killed when he was a teenager.
Okay. So with his mother being out of there, now the question comes down again to
who's the one trying to sue?
Yeah, some family members. But I wanted to bring it back to the analogy that I gave. So who really failed him? You know, I know if the mother was not there and he's a career criminal, like I mentioned the analogy with the dog, who is it that kept on letting the dog out? It's the same exact thing that's going on here in Illinois. They
If he was
are pretty
raised by
much
the
going
government, then it's the government's fault. The government's the one who.
exactly, and that's what I'm saying. We have the same exact type of rhetoric going on here in Illinois, where they're pretty much doing a catch and release, and they're trying to do a no cash bail. They're doing they letting these people out, and one of the very people who is doing it is a black woman. It is a black woman that is pretty much allowing and pushing for this to happen. And yet at the same time, we try to sit here and try to figure out why what happened to this young police officer happened to her. 24-year-old girl. And like I mentioned, I'm going to keep on because I wanted to stick in people's head. 24-year-old young woman serving her community by being a police officer. She was encouraged to do it by other people who are supposed to be upstanding representation of blacks in our community. They say, if you want to help your community, then help your community by serving and by becoming a police officer. And this girl went above and beyond, and she was getting ready to graduate with her master's in criminal justice, only to be deleted by the very community that they told us we should serve. So, folks, we have to take a break right here. We'll be right back. You're listening to Season 92.9, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal. All right, I'm use the bathroom real quick, and I'll be right back. And I'm gonna bring Andrea up too. So
Can't hear you.
Yeah, I figured. I forgot that I have to make sure that his camera's in there. But now you should be able. You can hear me now, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I can hear you now.
Everybody, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man. Canceled this on Cities 92.9 in Central Illinois. But obviously now we're bringing you the content. I mean, he's always been bringing you the content everywhere, but I've been getting it so that we can bring all of our content, all of our Cities 92.9 content across the nation, across the world. So make sure you go check out my channel, Speechless with Kev Ferris. I can send that link again. And I'll be going live tomorrow from 3 to 5, do similar stuff to Ty. I do a little bit more, I don't know, in depth to certain stories, and try to, and I take a bit of a different approach. But I really appreciate everybody who's been supporting me and obviously supporting Ty too, because we have a lot of messages that we're trying to get out, and YouTube and the big tech doesn't necessarily make it easy to get these out there, you know. So thank you very much.
There he is, Mr. America. He's confused.
Oh, he's looking to see how much time we have before we
I'm
come
just
back.
Hey, Mama Don.
Sup. Yeah, somebody used my word earlier.
doing?
I saw that. Who used sup? Who did that?
So
That's
Somebody
Mal.
else did it.
Yeah. Copying me?
They copying your style.
we're coming back in 5 seconds.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And we are back, folks. You are listening to Cities 92.9, the news talk of Bloomington Normal. I am Ty Smith, aka Modern Renaissance Man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299. You can text the show at 309-451-9299. And if you want to listen in via the internet, go onto YouTube and in the search bar type in Modern Renaissance Man or Cities 92.9, and you can listen and see us live in the studio. You can even interact with us by becoming a part of the community in the chat room. All right. So appreciate you guys all being in here. And before we took the break, you guys heard us talking about this situation and these various topics that we've been talking about. And I want to bring up another guest here and see what they have to say on this matter. All right. So we have here Miss Andrea. Miss Andrea, how are you doing?
Hey, Ty. Hey, Kev. Hey, Miss Scarlett.
Hello.
I have to tell you that this whole thing just infuriates me. It makes me furious. Mostly because this is what you voted for. You voted for this. You voted for all of it if you live in New York. And the thing that really bothers me as somebody who grew up in New Jersey, like the big thing was New York strong. Like New Yorkers were a real rough and tumble bunch. Like you did not mess with people from New York. And now New York is just like a bunch of marshmallows. And they voted for it. This is what you voted for. How's that whole defund the police movement going for you? How's that working for you? Where's BLM? You know where BLM is? They're sitting in their mansions, in their white communities, having parties behind the gates with people who have guns to protect them. Do you think Kathy Hochul, Eric Adams, Alvin Bragg, you even think that they're remotely even fazed by this? Nope. They don't care that New York people are being subject to this violence on a daily basis. They don't care. You know why? Because you voted for it. You voted them in. You hired them. They're just giving you what you voted for. And now I'm just going to talk to women for a second, because this is what my prediction is going to be. If Mr. Penny goes to jail over this, I got news for you women. Nobody, no man is ever going to help you ever again. No man is going to help you. You know why? Because essentially you've done this to yourself. You have bastardized men in the name of feminism for, I don't know, a couple of decades now. And now if this man goes to prison, no one is going to help you. No man is going to help you. No politician is going to help you. Nobody's going to come to your rescue. And just know you did it to yourself. And for as much destruction as these liberal policies have caused, for as much devastation to this country as Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, the Democratic Party, with the aid of the Republicans, have caused this country, you know who's really to blame? The American people, because the American people have just tolerated it and normalized it. They have now normalized putting men in women's prisons. They've normalized putting men in women's sports. They have normalized crime. They've normalized murder. They've normalized riots. They've normalized every degradation to this society. And the American people have sat back like a bunch of spineless cowards, not the patriots that we claim to be. We have sat back and let them. And you know what? I'm a very big proponent in self-accountability. And everybody talks about freedom, about, you know, we're free people. You are not a free people right now. The second that they locked you down in your home and you took it like a bunch of sheep, you are not a free people right now. You are living in a delusion. You are under martial law and you don't even realize that you let them do it. And that's why you can have people rioting in the streets wanting Mr. Penny to essentially be prosecuted under mob rule So if there's 100 leftist protesters, there should be 3,000 right protesters. But there's not. You know why?
We
Because
have jobs.
they already silenced you. You have already entered the prison corral on your own. That's why.
Mostly because we have jobs. We don't really, most of us have jobs. We don't have time to go sit outside and protest like they do.
Well, then you need to decide, do you want to be a free people, or do you want to just, have a job and just go along and just keep complaining about how bad things are? Things are getting worse by the day because there's absolutely no pushback. And if you really want to be free, I mean completely and utterly free, freedom is a lifestyle. Freedom is a choice. But the thing about freedom is, to be truly free, that means that you have to be self-accountable for every single solitary thing that you do in your life. And I believe that self-excellence is going to be the new rebellion. But you need to not be afraid to be called names. You need to not be afraid. You cannot be afraid anymore. Or essentially, what's going to happen is in 2 years, when, let's say, dictator Biden steps up to the mic and says, well, because of the Ukraine war and because of the war with China and because of the war with Russia, I'm just going to suspend the Constitution, just like they did in Ukraine. If you don't see that Biden is following the same exact playbook as Zelensky, I don't know what to tell you, because he is. And Zelensky just suspended the Constitution. Zelensky had all the churches closed.
Well, that's a playbook from Hitler. Hitler did it first.
Well, what do you think bastardizing white people is? You don't think that that's the playbook from Hitler? You don't think that that happened? That's how that happened?
That is some real interesting perspectives right there.
Well, I don't think protesting does a lot. I think we can, with the power of our pocketbooks, we can make our voices heard by stop buying stuff from people who keep throwing this garbage in our faces. Like, I don't go to Target. I do not go to Target. I will not go to Target. And I've told everybody in my family, I said, do not go to Target. I don't go to Walmart. I don't buy Nike anymore, Disney. Now I can't even get a Ford car. I mean, I will not do it. I won't support these things. I mean, they said all we want to do is be able to get married. Then they want their own clothing line and their own, all these advertisements. And I'm like, the reason you're pushing it so hard is that this isn't right. If it was right, you wouldn't have to push it. You would know who you are. You would know who you are as an individual. You don't have to have a shirt on to tell everybody, hey, what does that matter? That's not who you are. If everybody was deciding by this person's standards, this is who everybody is. Well, then, John Wayne Gacy was gay. Does that mean that the entire gay community is a serial killer? No. Right. I mean, you don't need to wear a shirt to say who you are. Who you are is your character, your morals, your values, the things you believe in. And I'm not going to stand outside and argue with these people. The Bible tells about arguing with fools. It's useless. I'm not going to argue with them. I'll say what I've got to say, but as far as going out there holding a sign, I don't think it really does a lot. But I don't care if they call me names. They have called me names. I've been kicked off YouTube, Twitter 3 times. I don't care. I don't care. I'll say what I'm going to say. And I don't curse when I say it, but I obviously bother people or they wouldn't turn me in.
Wow. That's some, from both of you guys, that's some really, really good perspectives that we have going on here. And that's why these conversations need to be had. Folks, you guys all are hearing this across these airwaves here in Central Illinois. You got to hear this from various states, from various people, from various perspectives here at Season 2.9. Want to give a huge shout out, and I want to thank Miss Scarlett for coming on. I want to thank Miss Andrea for coming on. You guys have been great. It's good to hear from you guys and good to hear your perspectives. As you can see, folks, a lot of us are fed up with the nonsense that's going on, and we're going to continue to stay fed up. We are done, and we're going to continue to speak out against this crazy nonsense that's going on Because if not, you're going to see who the real Americans are. Plain and simple, folks. Y'all know how this goes. I'm Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, hoping and praying that every last one of you guys have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I hope and pray that every last one of you guys are in great health. God bless you all.
You want to end the live stream?
It's-
Oh, you ended it already?
I don't know. I don't know what happened.